things happening. Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. Today we're going to be testing out one of these Chinese diesel heaters. This is actually designed for what looks like a truck or a bus or a vehicle of some sort to be mounted on a floor, and then you can feed the exhaust and intake pipes out of the living space or whatever you want to call it, and then you feed the heating duct into the living space. So it could be used in tents or campers or even off-road vehicles or something like that you wanted to stay overnight in or have a heat source, travel vans or adventure vans, those kinds of things. I've got it kind of temporarily hooked up here. It's running behind me, it's doing something, and I fired it up, and so we're gonna see what happens with this thing. Maybe it'll catch on fire, or maybe it's gonna be something awesome we can use around here for lots of little spaces we need to heat throughout the winter. So let's check it out. So basically this thing has a little air intake on the bottom, and then it has an exhaust port on the bottom, and so I just have it snaked out around here, and this I guess is a muffler. It doesn't look like much, and I just have it pointed out the door. This is just a screen here, so we'll just let it run for a while and see how well it works. And then it has this duct right here that you can kind of point around, and it looks like it just kicked on. It started blowing. It's kind of cold air still. So you just fill it with diesel fuel on the top. It hooks up to 12 volts, so we can hook it up to solar panels, or I've got a couple of those little battery power generators, solar generators we could use. And maybe I could make a little portable cart for this or something down the road. But so I can start to feel the exhaust coming out. Still not warm air. I'm gonna close this to try to direct the exhaust outside. And I don't know how hot this tube's gonna get. I'm assuming it's gonna get pretty hot, so it would probably start burning the countertop eventually. Okay, this looks like it's giving me some kind of an indicator of either the combustion or how well it's working. It looks like it just jumped up, and I heard the fan kind of kick up a little higher. So the way they're routed out on the bottom, probably could put it up on higher blocks. So the control panel has a bunch of different settings on it, most of which I do not understand, but I do know that it has an up and a down, and that controls the temperature, or I guess heat output. So it actually slows the oil pump down, and it automatically lowers the fan speed, and you can hear everything kind of quiet down. So at its lowest setting, it's not going to be putting out much heat. But at its lowest setting, we're at about 60, 70 decibels, so it's pretty quiet. And then let's turn it up to the highest. It also comes with a remote that you can do that same thing with, and it'll tell you the temperature. It's in Celsius right now. I don't know how to change it. I gotta read through the manual. The manual is not extremely great. So right now it's 11 Celsius, whatever that is. And with it on full speed, it's at about 75 decibels, so that's not bad. That's about conversation level, maybe loud conversation level. The heat output on this is 8 kilowatts, which is equivalent to about maybe 28 or 29,000 BTUs. This is the heater that I normally use in the shop here, and I don't know how many BTUs this is. I have a feeling it's probably 50,000, but 30 to 50,000. So I think this would heat this shop pretty well, actually. And the nice thing about this is that you could do it either way. You could put the whole unit outside of a shop, or outside of a tent, or outside of a sugar shack, or a shed, or whatever. You can put the whole thing outside and insulate this. You could run like a 4-inch insulated flex from the unit into a wall, and so you can keep all the fuel and everything outside. The only disadvantage is the unit itself draws fresh air from the back and then heats it, so you wouldn't get quite the heat output because you'd be heating cold air from outside before it blew into the shop. But it would keep a fresh air supply in your shop, which would be nice. Or you could take the whole unit and mount it, say, on a wall or a floor, or right on the ground if you're in a tent or ice shanty or a hunting lodge or something. And you can do kind of like what I did, except for you can drill, this is about a 1-inch exhaust pipe, and it's fairly flexible. So you could drill, you know, maybe a 3-inch hole and then stick your 1-inch through there and put some kind of metal plate on it. You want to keep some space from combustibles, and then just vent the exhaust.